The Space of Being, posted on March 27th, 2012. If you can sit for 10 minutes with your eyes closed, without the need to do anything, you automatically drop into the space of life and being around the noise of your mind and feelings. The problem, however, is that most people who use this pointer as a technique end up trying to do nothing, which basically just causes them to stay occupied with the doing of nothing. Though the pointer is so simple, it can take a while before you really get what the pointer means, especially if you're a mind-oriented person who immediately tries to get good at executing the pointer as a technique. Basically, it's about letting go of the need to do anything, even of the need to sense the space. That's when you automatically get connected with the space of being. You fall into it. The more you connect with the space of being, the more you disidentify with fueling the mind momentum. You don't have to do this all day long, but just 2 or 3 times a day, whenever you're free, possibly for 10, 15 minutes. With time, you will automatically sense a desire to connect with this space of being more and more, and then it stops becoming a practice and becomes your natural movement. Resting in the space of being allows for a balance to come into your physicality, to your mind and body. The pointer of relaxed awareness, which I use several times, is the same as resting as this space of being. The fear of letting go into the space of being. Initially, there can be some fear that comes up when you let go of control, let go of the need to do anything, and simply allow yourself to drop into this space. This fear arises from the mind that's habituated to figuring things out, and the act of letting go into a total non-doing creates a sense of panic in it. Just let the panic ride out and continue to stay in a space of letting go of control totally. If you have a strong momentum in your mind and a heavy load of negative energy stored up in your body, it can feel unpleasant when you let go of control, because in this total allowing, the mind and body starts reharmonizing, and this energy movement can feel like a lot of sensations happening at once. However, you're grown up enough to allow this temporary unpleasantness. If the sense of panic is too high for you to handle, just get back to holding on. It can take time before you feel comfortable letting go into the space of being, but as you continue doing this practice, this space gets more and more familiar. Though the term space of being seems all spiritual, in truth it's nothing but the space of silence around your thought and feeling space. When you rest in this space, your focus becomes relaxed, and hence you don't contract on any of the thoughts or feelings. This causes the momentum of the mind to start reducing, and it also causes the release of suppressed negative energy in your body. If you have a strong mind momentum, you'll notice that your attention is glued to the mind in some way, it's as if your focus is contracted on the mind. Such a contracted focus causes amplification of the thoughts, because your focus magnifies and strengthens the presence of anything that it stays rooted on. Resting in the space of being not only removes your contracted focus on the thoughts and feelings, but also allows your mind and emotional space to be touched by the intelligence of the wholeness of life. The space of being is referred to in many spiritual teachings as emptiness, awareness, pure consciousness, space of stillness, the space of now, etc. Basically, all of them are pointers to get you to sense the space outside your mind. This space is always there and always whole. The more you rest in it, the deeper it goes. It's like the ocean's depth. The more you touch the depth, the less you feel the influence of the surface level waves. Also, from this space of being, you can allow a free movement of the feelings and thoughts that arise in the moment, without any resistance, thus allowing a faster harmonization. All that's needed is to overcome the fear your mind might throw up about letting go so totally. Connecting with the space of being feels like a practice initially, until a stability establishes itself, in which case this space becomes permanently present along with your mind and feeling space. The two coexist as you move about in your daily life. Once you become grounded in this space of being, the mind or feelings are no longer overwhelming, and from this place you can allow the mind momentum to reach a null point. You can simply do this as a practice on a daily basis until you start sensing that this space feels stable in you, after which you can let go of the practice. Your mind comes to a balance, and your energy space becomes free of the suppressed energy as you establish a grounding in this space. In the absence of this grounding, it's inevitable that you become lost in the mind momentum. a balance between mind and being. The mind represents the physical domain, whereas the being is the space of non-physical life energy, and an interplay between the two is required for a balanced physical expression. Losing touch with the space of being is the reason for all the imbalances that happen in the domain of the mind. The reason is simple. When you have no connection with the space of being, all of your awareness is contracted on the mind, causing a constant and unconscious fueling of the mind momentum. As you continue to connect with this space, you'll sense the intensity of your mind movement and feelings reducing. Of course, it takes time, a few months, for this reduction to happen, given the fact that this momentum was gathered over several years of unconscious living. You'll sense an inner stability establishing itself gradually as you find more and more connection with your space of being. All your inner guidance, instinct, inspiration, solutions, and creative impulses stems from this space, and hence it's the field of wisdom that's required to balance the mechanical and conditioned thinking of the mind. The conflicts in your mind start getting dissolved when it's touched by this space. It's like the intelligence of life operating with the intelligence of the mind. The space of being is like silent intelligence, but it can create insights and understanding in the mind without requiring any struggle-oriented thinking or figuring out on your part. The mind cannot solve the mind. It requires the intelligence of this space to create any real or lasting transformation in terms of maturity, clarity, and stability.